Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Emily Truman. I serve as the 2025 Chair of the Gates County Board of Commissioners. I am joined by Commissioner Nathan Berryman, Vice Chair Jonathan Craddock, Commissioner Brian Roundtree, Commissioner Dave Forsyth, County Manager Scott Sauer, and Clerk to the Board Renee Draper. We're going to ask Commissioner Roundtree if he'll provide the invocation and lead the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, thank you for letting us once again assemble, Lord, to conduct government issues for our constituents. Lord, grant us wisdom, Lord, which we know that you give to us liberally. Lord, order our steps, give us understanding, and help us, Lord, to have resolutions to the challenges that we have faced today. Lord, we thank you, Lord, for resources provided for Gates County. Continue, Lord, to provide resources for the citizens. Help us to serve in the capacity of greatness and excellence. We give you thanks for all these things. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, sir. We are moving into the approval of the agenda. So are there any additions or deletions to the agenda as presented? Feel a moment. Yes. All right, so make a motion to add the resolution to reduce salaries of sheriff and register of deeds to the agenda, and that would be most appropriate under new business. Okay, so item E under new business. If we could get a second for that.
I second that.
All right, first and second, any discussion? All in favor by show of hands? That's unanimous. Okay, so we will add that under E. Okay.
I'm going to end up making a motion about a reimbursement for a citizen. I don't know if that needs to be added to the agenda or not. It would fall under old business.
Okay, so we have a request for adding something to the agenda for old business. We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I haven't made the motion. I'm saying I want to consider a resolution for reimbursing a citizen for expenses.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. All right, so any discussion? If not, all in favor by show of hands on adding that to the agenda? Okay, so we'll have 3. Any opposed? Just by show of hands to have. Okay, so 3-2, that will be added to the agenda under old business. Okay. All right, are there any other amendments needed for the approval of the agenda as presented, as amended?
There's one item I just want, when it comes to the consent agenda, if that's separate, one of the items on there I think needs a slight modification of minutes only.
Yeah, that'll be further down in the consent agenda. Yep. So if we can approve the agenda as amended, we get a motion for that.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
All right, all in favor of approving the agenda as amended? That is unanimous. Okay. All right, so we are going to move in before the consent agenda into the public hearing. So I will need a motion to go into a public hearing for the fiscal year 27 Community Transportation Program.
So moved. Second.
All right, all in favor by show of hands? All right, so we are in the public hearing. We're going to ask Ms. Patrice Lassiter to come to the podium to update the board on the grant application submission process.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So we are asking to apply for the FY27 Community Transportation Grant, and for that grant, we use that for administrative funds and for capital. For the administrative funds, we are asking for $113,962. That will cover some of the administrative salaries and some of the office expenses. Of that amount, $17,095 will come out of fares of local share. And also for capital. For capital this year, we are requesting the replacement of 2 vehicles. One is a raised roof van with a lift at a cost of $95,000, and one is a raised roof van without a lift. But the one with the lift, I'm sorry, is $110,000, and the one without a lift is $95,000. And then for the lettering for both of those. So for that purpose, we are asking for these funds to apply for. Also, we are asking to apply for an enhanced transportation for senior persons with disabilities, and we're requesting to apply for $60,000, of which $30,000 will be the matching share, and it will come out of our road funds, the EDTAP, Elderly and Disabled Transportation Assistance Program funds.
Okay. All right. Just ask, do we have any questions or any comments at this point?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're the right one to ask or not, but later we end up having a budget amendment where we're talking about moving $230,000 to pay for 2 vehicles, similar, sounds like vehicles for this year.
Those were previously approved in 2 separate prior years. I believe one was FY '24, the other one was FY '25.
So those are new vehicles we're getting right now, and then we're asking to get a grant to buy 2 more? Is that-
Yes, yes.
So how big is our fleet?
So we have 9 vehicles, and they were replaced. One of them was replaced, like you said, from a couple of years ago, and then the ones that were supposed to be replaced last fiscal year. These won't be replaced until FY '27, which will probably be at least a year and a half from now. So what happens is that when you request reimbursement, replacement, it's after they've met their life expectancy or the mileage. So our fleet accumulates mileage pretty fast because of the rural nature of the county.
So how many, you got 9 vehicles?
We
How
have
many-
9 vehicles.
How many people do we have actually driving?
We have, it's 11.
11 drivers?
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay. All right, so
But
Ms.
just to make it a point though, reading this application, if I got it, I realize you do this all the time.
Yeah.
I see this as, we basically would end up spending just 20,000 out of 200 the county would actually pay for the new vehicles. Is that right? Assuming we get the grant.
10%.
They pay 10%.
Okay, all right.
It's 80% federal, 10% state, and 10%
For
local.
2 vehicles?
For
Yeah.
2,
Okay,
all right.
thank you.
So, thank you, Ms. Lassiter. All right, Ms. Draper, do we have anyone signed up to speak, or have you received any correspondence from the public? No. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
So I will now need a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Sorry.
All in favor? Okay. We are now out of the public hearing, and we are going to ask for a motion to adopt the Public Transportation Program Resolution as presented.
So moved. Second.
All right, and any discussion? Okay, all in favor by show of hands? That's unanimous with 5. All right, thank you, gentlemen. So there has been, okay, yes, there's been a request to add a public utilities refund to the consent agenda. I'm looking for a motion to add the Joyce Scott water refund to the consent agenda and approve the consent agenda with the addition at the pleasure of the board. Is
So
there a
moved.
motion on that? Okay.
What was it?
The water refund. Mhm. So we
I'll
have,
second that motion.
okay, first and second, any discussion?
So we're going to get an explanation just for public idea of what we're reimbursing? I mean,
That is, what is, I mean, discussion
Okay.
portion here if you want to.
I guess
Yeah.
that's the point is if I was a
Yeah.
member of the public, I'm like, what are we reimbursing for what? This is basically somebody overpaying the water bill of, we'll say, a remote owner of a property that paid the water bill recurringly and built up a large credit. We're just simply returning their money to them.
Returning their money because the
Right,
property is
okay.
sale, yeah,
All right. Just want to make sure it's clear for everybody that's watching.
okay. All right, so we have a first and second of discussion. So all in favor of approving the consent agenda? All right, that is unanimous. I am going to take a moment, and I think it's okay to say we have a guest in the room that I would like to give an opportunity to speak if you would like. Senator Hannig is here. He joined us for Even if you just want to say hi,
Put him on
I
the
don't
spot.
know. We
Put him
do
on
have
the spot.
Senator Hannick here. He's just going to wait from his seat. Okay. He joined us. Okay. Well, he came and he joined us with our report to the people from the Extension Office earlier, so we were grateful to have him here. All right, we will go into the public comment period. Ms. Draper, are there any individuals signed up to speak for the board?
Alden Miller from Young Woods.
Okay. Good evening.
Amen.
We normally say a few words after Charles Ford.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. I'm John Williams. We provide child support services to Gates County. We're excited to have the opportunity to provide child support services to citizens of Lake County.
I will ask if you could just pull the mic up a little bit so that it will catch what you're saying. You're fine. Thank you.
We're very excited to be able to provide child support services to citizens of Gates County. And you'll be reading the proclamation that we presented later on in the meeting. I'd just like to say that it was a great year for our agency and the past fiscal year. Our agency met all of the state incentive goals for Gates County. We were one of a small handful of counties to do that. And we're just proud to be here. We've been here since 2010, and it's been a very good time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Were there any other signed up? No? Okay. All right, so we'll move into staff comments. If there were any staff members that needed to come forward to address the board. Towards the sheriff, no. Okay, so we'll go into new staff introductions. I'll ask Mr. Warren Perry, HR Director, Assistant County Manager, to come to the podium and introduce new county hires.
Good evening, County Manager, Commissioners. We've had a good day together. It's my pleasure to introduce to you, this is about half the staff of Public Utilities now.
All right, all right.
So on my far left is Stanford Harold. She's admin assistant to Brad Arnold. She's a native of Bertie County, lives in Hertford County, where she worked with the Hertford County school system for many years. And she's a graduate of Roanoke Chowan and North Carolina Wesleyan. To my immediate left is Ricky Lockley. He's a native of Gates County, graduate of Mansfield High School and in Suffolk, and currently lives in Gates County. And the other in the middle is Clay Mitchell. Clay's a native of Gates County and has lived in Gates County probably for the last at least 20 years, and he's a carpenter by trade, and we are glad to have these three here in Public Utilities. And I think Stanford Harold wanted to speak for the three of them tonight.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Warren, for that welcome. I just wanted to say thank you all for bringing us aboard. The first couple of months has really been good to us. We've really enjoyed it, and we're just looking forward to continuing contributing to the County of Gatesville.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Just want to make sure with the amended agenda, we will be moving into old business first. Is that correct? Okay. I don't know what we would do without our clerk. Okay, so we're going to move into the old business. Commissioner Forsyth had brought up the issue of reimbursements that he'd like to have added to the agenda, so I will turn this over to him.
Yeah, I'd just like to, we've had some heated discussion, community concern and everything, but we had an individual who I think in good faith, from everything I've seen with the emails back and forth to our county manager and to commissioners, in good faith based upon believing that he had authority to go forward with fielding a girls softball team to All-Stars, went out and purchased jerseys and spent the money out of pocket. It was a good faith effort, whether we agree with it or not. I don't think the county should hold him liable for what he did in reasonably good faith. And I know that he's asked about being reimbursed, and I'd like to make a motion that we direct the county manager or finance officer to reimburse him promptly for the approximately $300 in expense, assuming he produces receipts. That's a
Okay.
motion.
So we have a motion on the floor.
I'll second that motion.
We have a second, so I'm going to open it for discussion.
Yes, I want to
Okay.
open up for discussion. The question is not good faith. The question is policy, and the question is our taxpayer dollars. So you expect taxpayers to pay for T-shirts by a citizen, which wasn't earmarked, it wasn't in the budget, and this board did not give authorization to. That's just like me having a friend who have a T-shirt company, and I said, hey, print some Gates County T-shirts. He printed Gates County T-shirts and expect the county to pay for it. It sets a precedence. It sets a precedence that we can't go forward with, because if we reimburse this person for taking initiative himself without the proper protocol, then what's going to stop others from doing so? Also, what's the legal ramifications behind this? Will we be audited behind this? These are questions that I think that we need to consult with our attorney, even though she's not here, before we move forward. Because it would be a bad look for Gates County to reimburse $300 that wasn't earmarked, that wasn't budget, that the director did not even put in his line items. It's a bad look for us. Also, this looks like, I'm being perfectly honest, Roundtree's always honest. It looks like retaliation. It looks like retaliation because of what happened during the old business. That's what it looks like. I'm just being honest. That's what it looks like, retaliation. They got the shirts. Do you expect them to return the shirts? They already have the product. They purchased on their own without proper authorization. I think it'd be a bad move, and I think we should consult with our county attorney to prevent being possibly audited for spending money that wasn't earmarked for government purposes. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to defer to you two for comments, and then I will.
Dave, would you like to, any comments?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think you're right, it is retaliation. I think a certain individual who used to be a county commissioner is a group of people in this county trying to persecute him to the extent, an extreme measure. The guy did a good faith, honest effort to go out and buy jerseys supporting a softball team field him. He got approval from individuals sitting in this room and went forward with that. The $300 cost, if that's the biggest finding in an audit we have, I'm totally willing to accept that. I think it's absolutely good faith effort to pay $300. It's not going to bankrupt us. We spend tons of money on other stuff that I would argue is way less valuable, and it sends a clear message that whether we like it or not, if he did the right thing perfectly or not, whether we cause some controversy or not, it's just fair to pay back the individual for a cost they paid out of pocket in good faith. And if you like the guy or not, it doesn't matter. It's just fair to a person, whether you like him or not, you treat him fairly. And I think this is just fair treatment.
My rebuttal is this. What's the purpose of policy? What's the purpose of statutes? What's the purpose of rules?
What rule are we violating? Just out of curiosity.
When we don't follow protocol when it comes to budgeting, when we take money and allocate it to whoever we desire to, that's not good practice. It's not good practice. And he did a good gesture, but we still have to follow, we still have to follow rules, protocol. We still have to, do things the correct way.
Okay.
Madam
What he did
Chairman,
was
do you
great.
want to limit
He
the
did a good
debate, or
job.
you want to keep going? You want me to have another rebuttal?
I'm going to go over here like I had
Thank
already
you.
asked.
Thank you.
Earlier, so.
Yeah, at this point in time, we do have an email from a director of the county. So if a director of the county says that they were going to play a game and they bought jerseys from that direction that they got from a director of this county, that makes the county liable for it at this point in time. So That's the way I just see that, and it's the right thing to do at the end of the day. No matter what you think about one person's political leanings or what way or the other, it's ethically the right thing to do.
Okay.
The only question I have about it is, we all know how this got started. Did the girls that were on the team, did they all pay their fees to play? Do you know if the fees were ever paid?
They were never allowed to play, so.
They didn't
Well,
play
they
at
played the
all?
season.
Well, they didn't play in the game that we were all talking about, even though that we voted for them to be able to. They were.
I was just wondering if they ever paid the fees like everyone else did.
I couldn't answer that.
So
They didn't.
I was going to say we have a person here, we're being told no, they did not from the
Okay.
back.
I just had that question.
Okay.
Illegal players.
All right.
Call for the question.
Can I say anything?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, because I haven't had any input yet.
Okay.
Okay. Again, I think this whole thing should never have made it to this table, should not have come to this point. I would like to, and I'm gonna defer to the clerk. Is it appropriate to ask a question to someone in the audience, the staff, for clarification? Okay. Could I ask you to the podium, Mr. Raby? I have one fairly simple question. Okay, when players go to All-Stars, do they get new jerseys for the game?
Yes.
Yes. That was my question, because
Well,
based on the email, and I understand they did not go. From Friday to Monday, a lot happened, and we can all agree to that. Friday, they had an email saying they could. Based on that, shirts were ordered for the game by Monday.
We purchased them for the teams.
I'm sorry?
We purchased them for the teams.
You purchased them for the team?
Yes, we've had one team in the 4 years that I've been there that did not want the uniforms we would provide.
Okay.
One.
With the email coming in Friday, you were not ordering shirts for this team?
I never told anybody to go order uniforms.
Okay, my question is
Because-
for them to have a uniform at the game, because standard, when a team goes to All-Stars,
Of course, once you make it past the logistical steps. We didn't have a roster, we didn't have documentation, birth certificates for any of the legal players that were to be on that team. That could never be provided to us. Wouldn't give anybody a go-ahead to go purchase uniforms on their own dime when we, 99% of the time, do it for the team.
So did you or did you not send an email that said that they were allowed to play?
That was,
No, it's a yes or no answer.
Well,
Did
it's-
you
it's really
or
not.
did you not send
on
an email?
Friday.
it's not a yes or no.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
We'll relitigate.
They had enough to
Just-
play with the legal players that signed up and did, I mean,
Okay.
I agree, this is silly.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
They had enough to play, but he
So-
didn't want to provide the ones that could.
Okay. All right.
It's not good.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
We are going to call to vote here in just a moment. And with this, I'm going to mention that we have lots of policy and procedure conversation going forward so that we can prevent these type of things from happening in the future. At this point, we have the situation at hand. So by show of hands, if you are in favor of this, please raise your hand. All right, and if you are opposed, by show of hands, that is 3-2. This is done. We are moving along. Okay.
I have to ask,
We-
what assurance do we have that this is actually going to happen now?
Sir? No. We are moving along. Okay, new business. Clerk to the board, do you have any reports and updates for us?
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. Several things. In your packet, you will find the meeting schedule for 2026 and the holiday schedule for 2026. Hopefully, we can adopt this by next month if there are not any changes. I did make some notes on the meeting schedule in January, not January, excuse me. Hold on. So January to December 1st, no, I apologize, y'all. It has been a long day. December 1st through January 14th, that's a 44-day cycle. So December 1st of this year, we've got to have our organizational meeting. So we won't have, there's not another planned scheduled regular meeting for December. So January 14th is 44 days. I just made a note of that. And then August 19th, that's highlighted because typically that's when the annual conference is. Historically, it's been the third week, and I know that we moved it around this past month, or this month. So that's just highlighted for reference. And in February, I did make a notation, February 11th, and I apologize, I don't have my calendar up here, but I think that's a week before typically what we would, when we would meet. The clerk regional conferences that month, so if it's possible that we can move it to that week, so I can be in attendance for that meeting. Again, this is just a rough draft. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out in reference to that. And then the 2026 draft holiday schedule, everything, all the holidays are the same as they were this year. So that's for y'all to.
So just to clarify though, the only two dates that are off from the third Wednesday are January 14th and February 11th due to the 44 days and then the clerk's conference.
That is correct.
Everything else falls on the third Wednesday as per usual. Okay.
And then we have a lot of committee and board applications. Mongetta Spivey Blanchard. She has applied for the Gates County ABC Board, and she is here.
Awesome.
Would you like to come up and say anything? You can, you don't have to.
You can ask Senator Hannig. We like to call people up at random.
You want to tell me what to say too? I guess all I can say is that I've lived here all my life. I do love Gates County very wholeheartedly. I'm not happy with what I just saw, but besides the point, this is my county and I've lived here and I just wanted to do something to help the county.
Thank you,
She keeps
Marcia.
putting all these notices up here about you got all these openings, so I thought I'd start small.
I appreciate it.
Have you served in any other boards before or anything?
I was PTA president at T.S. Cooper for several years. I used to work at the health department, and we have a state board, and I was the president of that board for the women on our section administrative staff for several years, and do a lot of things with church.
That's good. Yeah, I'm not trying to interrogate you. I was just curious if you've done any other boards.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
can't think of all of them.
Thank you.
And we do have the,
I know. Yeah.
the application in our packets here.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you so much.
So it would be most appropriate for you to finish presenting and then we can go through and approve?
Is that,
Okay.
is that what you want me to do?
That'll
That's
work
fine.
for me.
Okay, Aaron Dale Smith, he's applied for Trillium Health Resources Northern Regional Board and the Recreation Board,
He is
and I do not
here.
see him here. Cecil Bagley, Merchant Commerce Center Committee, he is not here. Miss Monet Shaw is here. Would you like to come up and?
Come on, man.
Miss Mongetta, that's all you had to do, no?
I said they might be asked.
She tells us what to do too, so it's okay.
Mr. Paul Askew
Do not see it.
and Miss Leslie Small, I'm not going to say that last name, please.
Used to be
Nice
Her
to meet
maiden name
you.
is
Good evening, Madam Chair, County Manager, the board. It's great to see you all this evening. My name is Leslie Small Spinolio. The G is silent. You can also call me Miss Spaghettio, that's fine. I have had the pleasure of watching you guys on this board and the board before you when I returned from graduating from NC State in 2019. I'm a product of Gates County Schools. I've lived here my entire life. I live in Coral Peak. Probably will until the day I die. And most importantly, I've seen you guys do a lot of great things since COVID's happened, and I am eager to be a part of that. Thank you for even just having me here today. I appreciate you guys.
Yep, thank you.
And she's a great babysitter, too, just so you know, years ago.
And she applied for the Economic Improvement Council or any others at the pleasure to the board, so.
Okay.
And other news, I've got the Gates County Voluntary Agricultural District Advisory Board. Say that 3 times fast. All of the members have expired, their terms have expired. I've reached out to several of the farmers. I've heard back from one, or the members on that board, another board that we need to get in place, and they know what's going on. So that's all I have for committee and board application discussion.
Sounds good. Thank you, ma'am. So we will need to take these, looking at the schedules, they're presented here. Do we have any discussion on the meeting schedule and holiday schedule? Do we want to move that to the 17th to look over, or are we comfortable with moving forward with a motion to approve tonight?
If I can comment, only thing is while I appreciate the great job Renee does and all she does for us, I just wonder if moving the meeting, because you attend the conference, you should attend the conference, but should we have the entire county not have the meeting as planned because of that?
That's at our discretion.
Yeah, I just want to throw that out there. That would be the only thing. I mean, again, not to say that we can live without you, but at the same time, maybe one meeting somebody else could.
Scott could take notes.
I don't know if it's last February, we might get snowed out 5 times.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe starting early isn't bad. I mean, that's up to our discretion. So if we decide to modify that to be I don't even know what date that would be, 18th? Yeah. So if we want to modify that to be the 18th, we could. And again, we can also move it to September to just look over and discuss then if we'd like.
I would say we just look over and discuss then, because who knows
Okay,
what our schedule
moved
is.
to, so September?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, well, we will move forward to the,
But are we going to go ahead and approve the schedules as are they? As they are right now?
the schedules?
Yeah. Or is that not?
What,
Yeah, the holiday schedule, both.
You can do it all in September, all collective, or do you just want to do the holiday and be done with that?
I'm fine with doing it now.
Okay, make a motion.
I make a motion to approve the schedules as presented, both the regular
holidays.
meeting and the holiday.
Okay. So do we have a second?
Is that moving the February meeting back to the 3rd Wednesday?
Yes.
Then I'm a second, then, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
So we have a motion to approve the schedule and the holiday and meeting schedule as amended to make the February meeting back on the 3rd Wednesday, and it has been seconded. Any other discussion? All right, so all in favor of approving these schedules? All right, that is unanimous.
See, one thing off the list.
One thing off the list. So now let's move down to the boards and committees. I would be okay with taking these collectively, if you all are okay with taking these collectively, but I will leave it for someone to open the motion.
Okay.
I make a motion, we approve the slate as presented.
I'll second that motion.
All right, any discussion? Yes.
Uh-oh.
Oh, hold on.
Is Ms. Cherry deleting somebody, or?
We are out of bounds here.
You done did it now.
I'm just learning something.
Okay.
We're going to get it right.
We do not have an Economic Improvement Council.
Okay.
So I recommend, if you agree,
and you agree, maybe she would serve on the Merchants Commerce Committee, but I know we are doing an Economic Development Committee eventually, and she could serve on that and transition to that if you all agree, but that's up to you. It was just
Can you amend the
a
motion?
consideration, and her, that's what I'm saying, if you all agree.
I'm fine with that, yeah. But we have to amend the motion at this
Who
point in
made the
time.
motion?
I did.
Okay, so do you want to amend the motion to?
Yeah, I guess I would amend it to say, instead of the Economic Improvement Council, it would be
Merchants Commerce Center Committee.
Commerce, okay, Commerce Center Committee, okay. Okay, that's my motion
All
now.
right, so your amended motion is to approve
Accept
the
the
slate
slate.
with the exception of changing Economic Improvement Council
Ms. Spaghetti
to
to-
Merchant
right.
Commerce Center Committee for Ms. Spinolio. No, not spaghetti. Okay, second,
Yes, I'll still second.
still second. Okay, any other discussion? This is fun, y'all. All right, all in favor by show of hands. That is unanimous. Let's try to make sure I don't miss anything here. Moving into item B, budget amendments. I trust everyone has had a chance to review the budget amendments in your packet. Are there any questions for Mr. Robertson?
I'll jump in. He prepared the paperwork, but
Yeah,
he always allows me to take a shot, and then if I get stuck or misstate, he'll help me out.
okay.
This evening, we have 12 budget amendments. They're all started with the prefix 26 for the fiscal 26. 2602 is $5,000, which is part of a grant from the OBC Foundation in partnership with the Chamber of Commerce to support the Farm to the Table program. The money has already been received, just we need this budget amendment so that can then be dispersed to the Chamber of Commerce. 03 is $38,584 for the Juvenile Crime Prevention Council. Their budget was not ready at the time the ordinance was prepared, so it's now in front of the commissioners. 04 is $4,270. This is insurance reimbursement for repairs to a sheriff's vehicle that was damaged. 05 is $35,225. This was the retainage on the revaluation contract that was held until the final process ended. 07 is a smorgasbord of carryover items. It's $102,058. This includes the regional jail study, the Merchants Commerce Center, the two feasibility studies. There's some emergency management grant money, the 2050 NC America grant, the Veterans Grant. There was a $20,000 Community Center Recreation Grant. Have I missed one in that list? Oh. I missed, that was number 07 that I just read. I missed 06. My apologies, thank you. This is $38,985, which is the insurance reimbursement for repairs due to the water damage at the new courthouse. Thank you very much, Mr. Robertson. 08 is $108,652. This is for the Soil and Water Conservation District. This was the stream clearing and debris removal grant. These are funds that were previously approved and are being carried forward. 09, $4,000 in the tax office for business personal property audit payable to the county tax service group that does those verifications for us. That was $4,000. As mentioned previously, budget amendment 10010, $230,673 for two vehicles for the county transportation system, one from FY25, the other from FY24. 011 is $9,202 for crisis intervention. 012, $86,883. This is to to establish an additional deputy position in the sheriff's office per his request. And 013 is in the Public Utilities Department, which is $706,355. This is for a number of things. There was $175,000 for the closeout of the meter project. Those funds were previously approved. We've just not expended those yet, but plan to do so in the near future. There was $90,000 for some capital outlay. There was $88,562. I believe that was for the new pump on well 3. And then there is a total of $135,000 remaining in testing analysis for the fluoride mitigation project. And we have also remaining $217,793, which is basically our remaining working capital. So if the board decides to proceed with a test well, we think we could do at least 2. And all of these funds were previously approved by this board, and we are asking that they be carried forward into the new fiscal year.
Okay. All right, so
Question.
that's a lot. Any questions?
Yeah, okay. First question's on just the 1-minute explanation about the farm to table program.
And that's,
What is it?
This is an initiative of the Chamber of Commerce. They had had communication from the OBC Foundation that they wanted to help support this in Gates County, but under the grant standards of OBC, it had to come through a local government.
No, I understand the problem. I'm actually literally asking, what's the farm to table program?
what's the farm
What is
to-
it? I mean, is it literally go and dig up plants and throw them on the table? I mean,
I believe this is going to be a fairly well-produced program by the Chamber Board that'll be out at the Jubilant Fields. Miranda Lane came in with the paperwork that was prepared, and she and Ms. Draper worked together to fill out the application.
So it's like I guess what I'm asking, is it a
It's a
display?
community.
No, it'll be an event with
event.
food and entertainment.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay, that's it.
It's an event.
It's an
I'm
event.
sorry.
That's it. That's all I need.
It's a chamber event.
Okay, got it.
Good
Chamber of
question.
Commerce.
funded by
Good
OBC, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Foundation.
The JCPC thing, just wondered, I mean, I was just wondering about the sheriff, he had any input on that, the program or whatever, is that a recurring thing, is what I'm wondering?
So I sit on that board.
Okay,
And they are actually hiring additional person, Chris Kahn. He's a native from this county. I went to school with him. And he was originally in Hertford County and Gates County, kind of a shared thing. And this is partly part of his salary and part of their normal budget.
so is he an employee of the sheriff's department then?
No.
It's a
He-
nonprofit.
A nonprofit?
It's a
Okay,
nonprofit.
all right, that answers that
And
one.
just to emphasize, we used to have a program called Genesis.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's where that money used to go, but
Yeah.
they're not on
Okay.
Genesis.
It's JC,
Okay, I've heard of that.
Okay.
Juvenile Prevention.
Gotcha.
I got it, okay,
Did
sorry.
not know that was Genesis.
Um,
Okay.
If anybody has a questions on any of these, they should go along. Okay. Sorry, next one. The big, one of the smorgasbord ones here, and I don't see them numbered on these sheets. I know you have them numbered, but this one was the one that has the regional jail study, Merchants Commerce Center study, Gates grant, Veterans Grant, Community Center Grant, America 250 and C grant, all of these. And I just want to make sure the professional services, that's the additional money we spent with Summit. Is that what that is? Taking the money?
007.
That and the jail study.
And the jail study. It's
Well, see,
both combined.
they're all lumped in that 40.
The 44,000, if you'll roll the page to the next page, I
Yep.
think we've got a note where,
Oh, right here,
We're-
the
we've got the
38,
two.
okay, all right. All right,
and the F-26 007, that's the actual
got it.
number, sorry about the
Okay,
confusion.
that's all right, I was trying to search it, okay. The extreme cleanup one, okay. Then the vehicle one, we asked that one already. The sheriff's position one. This is for a new person, I guess there's been some offline discussion or whatever. A
My
new staff
understanding
member.
is that the sheriff had spoken with all the commissioners about a candidate
Yeah.
he'd been trying to.
Seemed like a great
attract.
candidate, local guy, right, okay, all right. Just want to make sure that's the same one. Okay.
Yes.
All right, and then, I'm sorry to drag this out, folks. The next one is, I guess this is 13 then, is that how that numbering system works?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so number 13, there's another professional services there. That one shows $240,000 in professional services.
That is the amount of money in the, in the total line item, but that has,
In the water fund. You turn to the next page, it'll show you how much was left in the last year
Yeah.
in the water fund.
Well, see, and it shows, I guess what I'm saying is I saw those and see where it's going, but I'm like, it doesn't tell
Yeah.
me who the money's going to.
well,
what
of that amount, 135,000 is our contract with Green Engineering
Okay,
and Dr. Spruill for doing the water analysis. That's the bulk of that.
And the other part of it was what, East Coast?
East
East
Point,
whatever.
and then we've also done some independent laboratory testing.
It has the invoice further down, like,
I
yeah.
guess what I'm wondering is if this is recurring work, we're taking it out of fund balance, and that's my pet peeve, taking everything out of savings. And you
Well,
said we previously had approved it, but why would we be did we approve
Because
it?
Basically, when you close the year, the money that's left over
from
will
the previous
go
year?
into fund balance.
Okay, that answers that, thank you, okay. Sorry, and then, that's it, okay, that's it, I got it.
Okay. All right, do
Good
we have
questions.
Thank
any
you.
other,
Thank you.
any other
Clarify the
questions or comments?
No.
Yeah. No? No? Okay. Is this a group we can collectively,
Yep.
To state the budget, you can do one, all.
but we need to specifically state the,
budget number.
all right,
02 through 13.
okay.
So F2602 through F26013 budget amendments, I make a motion we approve.
I'll second that.
All right, so we have a first and a second. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor? That is unanimous. Perfect.
Thank you.
I need to make,
Thank you.
I would have voted against the one with the summit part, but since it was buried into one, it forced itself past me.
Okay. All right, so we are moving next on the agenda, permit fee waivers. Ms. Lisa Cherry with Economic Development is coming forward. Ms. Cherry submitted a memo to the board in the agenda packet. Does anyone have any questions regarding the information that the packet provided?
Good evening, Madam Chair and Commissioners and County Manager, Clerk to the Board officially. Tonight, it was brought to our attention that the volunteer fire department had paid some permit fees. So we wanted to bring to you tonight to waive those fees, and only you can approve that. So we hope you will support that. And we wanted to also update the fee schedule with the handicap ramps. They were in 2010, I think I included that was done. So we wanted to go ahead and include that while we were doing this on the fee schedule, just to make it clear. We have not been charging for those since then, just to let you know that. But if you would entertain that, we'd like for you to. If there's any questions, let us know.
Sounds good. Thank you. Do we have any questions?
Nope.
No?
I'll
Okay.
definitely make a
So-
motion to waive the fees for the fire departments.
Okay, we'll take that one first. So waive the
Yeah.
fees for fire department. That will include a reimbursement for what was paid, correct?
Permit fees.
Yeah,
Permit
for
fees.
volunteer fire department, let
For
me
the-
say that, the volunteer fire departments in the county that serve the county. So let me say that and make that clear.
Yes.
I mean, that's what we've got, but just so it's clear, because it's typically done in the other counties for any nonprofit service
Right.
agencies. So let me make that clear when I say that and talk to you. That's up to you. If you'd like for
Okay.
us to do that, we will do
I
that.
think if they paid a fee, it should be reimbursed, in my
Yep,
opinion.
yep. I'll make that part, I'll amend my motion to waive fees to voluntary fire departments in the county and reimburse fees paid this year recently. Don't go back and search the records for the last 10 years.
Second.
We have a first and a second.
Well, let me say, in the past, it could have been that a contractor had pulled a permit, and they
Okay.
just passed on that fee possibly,
Well,
so
we're
I'm
aware
not
of this
sure,
one, so we're
so
gonna
let
move
me know.
forward
I
with
might
this.
not be able to find that,
Okay.
so I just want to disclaimer that.
No, would you?
Okay, so we have a first and a second. Is there any further discussion? All right, we'll call to a vote. All in favor? That is unanimous. All right, and so the next would be
Thank
the fee schedule as amended and presented. So if we have a motion for that in regard to the handicap
And it was, the
ramps.
modification was just the handicap ramp for this modification of the fee schedule?
Yeah, that's just adding it to the fee schedule.
That's-
We did not have it in,
And then
as
you're
you
showing
said.
it waived.
Just
Right.
showing it waived. That's
Okay.
it. Yes.
Yep.
So,
That's not in the ordinance or anything, is it?
Well, the fee schedule becomes part of the ordinance.
Yes,
budget
Okay,
ordinance.
all right, I'm just making sure.
yes.
Okay.
Just wanted to make sure we didn't have to have a public hearing. because
No,
dealing
we're
with the
good?
ordinance.
Okay.
All right, just,
All right, so do we have a motion for that?
I'll make that motion.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? Nope, all in favor? That is unanimous, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cherry. All right, we are moving down to the proclamation designating the month of August 2025 Child Support Awareness Month. Give me one moment here. It's over here. Okay, so I will read this, and then we can vote on the adoption of, oh, I just made it get really big. Hold on, okay. So proclamation designated the month of August 2025 Child Support Awareness Month. Whereas Gates County is recognizing August as Child Support Awareness Month and reaffirms its commitment to strengthening Gates County's families by providing child support services to improve the economic stability and well-being of children. And whereas in state fiscal year 2024 to 2025, more than $1 million in child support was collected from parents of Gates County's children. And whereas there are nearly 342 child support orders in place working to ensure that more than 438 children receive financial support from their parents. And whereas the court must order either parent to obtain and maintain medical health insurance coverage for a child if it is actually and currently available to the parent at a reasonable cost. Whereas Child Support Awareness Month salutes the diligent working parents who spend time with their child and who make regular child support payments to safeguard their children's future. And whereas strengthening individuals and families promotes the safety and well-being of children, provides stability, improves the lives of children, and provides opportunities for families to be able to enhance their children's futures. And whereas children who do not receive adequate financial and emotional support from their parents may experience greater difficulty in becoming healthy, happy, and productive citizens. And whereas many concerned and dedicated judges, district attorneys, court clerks, sheriff's personnel, and child support professionals work to establish and enforce child support orders for Gates County children, one of our county's most vital resources. Now therefore, we, the Gates County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim August 2025 as Child Support Awareness Month in Gates County and commend its observance to all citizens, approved on this 27th day of August 2025. So if we could have a motion to adopt.
Madam Chair, motion that we adopt this resolution.
We can get a second.
So seconded.
Okay, do we have any discussion on this? All right, well, we will move forward with a vote. All in favor? And that is unanimous. All right. So we have things on the agenda just a little bit out of order, and we're just going to stick with it as they are, right? I'm sorry. Oh, the resolution, I forgot the E. We had an E added. Okay. So we do have another resolution that we amended the agenda this evening to add, the resolution to reduce the salaries of the sheriff and register of deeds. Just for a little bit of explanation, this is, I'm just going to go ahead and read this so that you can have that. Whereas North Carolina General Statute 153A-92 grants the Board of Commissioners the authority to fix or change the salaries of county officers, including the sheriff and the register of deeds, and whereas under North Carolina General Statute 153A-92, any change in salary for the sheriff or register of deeds must be adopted before the filing period opens for the election to that office, and such change will not take effect until the next term of office. And whereas the Board of Commissioners has reviewed the current salaries for the sheriff and register of deeds and determined that an adjustment is in the best interest of the county. And whereas the board desires to set the salaries for these positions for the next term of office. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Gates County Board of Commissioners that effective at the start of the next term of office, the annual salary for the sheriff shall be $73,595, Effective at the start of the next term of office, the annual salary for the Register of Deeds shall be $52,956. This resolution is adopted in accordance with North Carolina General Statute 153A 92 and shall be filed with the clerk to the board. The filing fee for these offices shall be based on the annual salaries listed above. All right, so I will just ask the county manager if you could elaborate on the reason for moving forward. This would be if the sheriff or a registered deed incumbent comes in office, this will not affect, but it will be.
That's correct.
Okay.
If the two constitutional officers, the registered deeds and sheriff, maintain their positions, their salaries will remain at the budgeted salary approved by the governing body. However, if another individual were to be elected newly to the position, the starting salary for both positions would be the figure listed in your resolution as read.
Okay. All right, so with that information, if we could get a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor? And that is unanimous. Okay, now we will move forward. So we do have things out of our typical order. And I'm going to go ahead and preface this by saying on the next month's agenda, just as a heads up, I've been visiting some other counties' meetings and have seen some takeaways. Figure we would try some things here just to see how it goes. But one of the counties I visited, our neighbor over in Burquemines, they do commissioner comments at the beginning of the meeting rather than at the end of the meeting. We will be putting that in place next month, but for this month, we're going to go ahead and continue with commissioner comments now. It is listed on the agenda as commissioner comments, then chair updates, and then county manager report. So we will stick to the agenda in doing it in that order. So I will start down with Commissioner Berryman.
All right, well, the upcoming meeting that we have with Summit Engineering is continuing going on with the original resolution that we had as far as reviewing the studies of possibly alternative grocery store, how could we do that and all that. Also, we're continuing to look at a multi-purpose building that we could possibly put beside where the future senior center, community center is going to be built. So there's going to be some continuing discussions with that. In our last commissioners meeting, I was tasked to have some offline discussions with the owner of Family Foods store here in Gatesville. So possibly a purchase of that property between a joint effort between the city of or town of Gatesville and the county itself. So those discussions have been moving the ball forward. There are a lot of discussions kind of going back and forth right now. And so kind of given, he originally had somebody that was interested in it, and we're waiting for that individual to decide if he's willing to continue to purchase that or not. If he does not, then it will be something that we can entertain and have further discussion about.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Come down the line.
All right, well, most of y'all know I've been out of pocket for a little while, had a few health issues. My full-time job, my second full-time job, has been crazy lately, so that's slowing down. So if anybody's reached out to me and I've been slow getting back to you, I apologize. But I'm getting full force back on my commissioner duty. Enjoyed the conference we went to last week. You know, this is one of those jobs you have that, I don't want to say thankless job, but it gets tough sometimes. And being in a room with hundreds of people, thousands of people that do the same thing that you do on a monthly basis, or sometimes even more. We talked to some that had, 5, 6, 7 meetings a month.
Yeah.
It's just very reassuring. It gives you that extra drive, that extra push to keep moving forward, because it does get tough sometimes. But I always enjoy, I was talking to Commissioner Roundtree this evening at dinner. I've been to 3 of them, and I see some of the same people there every time, but I always meet somebody new as well. And so it's just reassuring, a good push forward. The NCACC that we have working for us in Raleigh, and Senator Haney can vouch for this, they're always working for the citizens of North Carolina. They really are. They're pushing, they're keeping up with legislation, they're sending us notes and what to look out for. So I always enjoy going to those. And then the ag agency that was there that put on a dinner for us it's outstanding. It really is. So thank you all for coming out tonight. Love to see new faces in the audience. Love to meet new people. So look forward to seeing y'all next month.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Roundtree?
Yes, I want to thank all the Gates County constituents for attending tonight, and also special thanks to Senator Hannick for attending. It's an honor for him to be here. I'm going to start off first with congratulations to our chair. Our chair has been elected as the NCACC director for our region. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
First district.
Yes, first district, exactly. August 6th through the 8th, I attended the Social Service Institute in Hickory, North Carolina. I'm a board member. It was very informative. Talked about a lot of issues that's pressing on DSS. It was a good conference. Also, on August 12th, the Board of Commissioners had Legislature Appreciation Day. We were honored to have U.S. Congressman Don Davis and also North Carolina Representative Bill Ward in attendance. And we covered a lot of things, needs of Gates County, strategies, and also showing appreciation to our leaders in the House and also in the U.S. Congress for the things they have done for Gates County. On August 13th, we had Advocacy Day for Gates County farmers. Senator Ted Budd and also Representative Bill Ward was in attendance. On August 21st, I'd like to also congratulate Zamara Kinsey and Justin Powell. They were presented the NCABCO 2025 Leadership Award Scholarship.
Can you tell them what that is, the NCBA?
Yes, the NC is the North Carolina Association of Black County Officials. And out of 100 counties, they only had 7 scholarship slots. Gates County received 2 out of 7. Outstanding, outstanding.
Yeah.
Really made me proud. Also, August 21st to 23rd, as Commissioner Craddock mentioned, we attended the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners Conference in Greenville, North Carolina. It's a great time to network, great time to learn information, also to collaborate ideas with other commissioners. It's a great experience, and also a time to fellowship. Relationships is so important. Okay, also, I announced this last time, but I'm going to continue to announce this. On November the 19th, we will be honored to have the Honorable North Carolina Secretary of State, Elaine Marshall. She's here to present her initiative, Rural Rise NC. Rural Rise NC is an initiative that addresses small businesses in smaller counties, less metropolitan areas, more rural areas, encouraging entrepreneurship, encouraging startups, making sure that small businesses have the tools to be successful, because, we don't have a lot of industry here, but let's support the entrepreneurs, the startups, the businesses that are here, prepare them, educate them, connect them with creditors, make sure that they have credit worthiness, make sure they have back office functions, make sure they have all the resources that they need to be successful, because if they are successful economically, we will be successful. And last, on September the 6th, Ann Holland celebration. Ann Holland is a Gates County educator from the early part of the century. She's going to be celebrated at her legacy is going to be celebrated at T.S. Cooper on September the the 5th, excuse me, the 6th, 12 to 3 p.m. Okay, that concludes my updates. And again, thank you, Gates County constituents, for coming out.
All right, Commissioner Forsyth?
I want to thank Senator Hannick for being here, all that you've done. I know that we just recently were reminded that you engaged on my personal highest focus, which is fluoride issue for Gates County water. And I appreciate everything you've done and continue to do for us. Can't say enough how great it is to have you here, and it's such a concern, the fact that you've engaged. I really appreciate that because, again, fluoride, I want to stress again, we have fluoride in our water, as you noted, Senator, 6th highest in the nation for fluoride for communities of our size, drinking water systems of our size. That's incredible. It's been a year. We need to get on that. I know there's some good things going on, not to take away for some of the stuff that's going on, but we're letting this go on way too long, in my opinion. We need to take aggressive action. So I want to stress that again. But thank you for all you've done, Senator, very much. I'm very supportive. You've made me a fan of yours, so thank you, sir. I think at some point it might come up maybe in the manager's thing, but I'd asked months ago about us having public records requests and us noting where people ask for information. And I think that's important. And I just want to stress, I know that a gentleman recently inquired and asked for public records of my campaign finances, and Commissioner Berryman, who were recently elected. I trust and hope that they've gotten that promptly. I know that our administration here engaged. That actually has come from the elections department. But I know that that's important. I think that's a good thing. The fact that they want to see my campaign finances, I show them to them myself any given time. Totally happy to do that. I think that's a good thing, and transparency is great. So I think that's wonderful, but I would like for us to continue to make sure the public's aware of what's being asked for and their willingness to comply with their public records requests. I think that's a matter of morality from my part. But now, I do have to point out something I think is really important. It's a matter of policy and procedure, and I'm really taken aback by something. We have closed sessions here, and we're supposed to follow very strict rules, ethics rules, and comply with those ethics rules. And yet, a recent closed session we had with this Board of Commissioners, I know for a fact from being told by somebody, a member of this board shared information from a closed session, which is an absolute violation of policy and procedure. And I think we need to, in addressing our revision of our ethics rules, address a means of investigating and looking into instances where that happens. We have closed session rules that we should abide by. We should follow the policy and procedures that are in place. And I'm just noting that I at least experienced that, and I believe one other commissioner made a comment at a work session today that they also had been engaged by somebody who clearly had been briefed on what happened in closed session. So I just think that's important. We as a board need to address that, take aggressive action about that for someone who won't comply with the policies and procedures of this board. That's all I have for tonight.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, so I will say, I feel like the last time we met was about 6 months ago because it has been a busy month. Throughout the past month, we've had, I've had North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services briefings on the Medicaid expansion, SNAP, the results of the things that are going forth from federal level and what the implications are going to be for North Carolina. I do know that there's a statewide conversation happening right now in DHHS on how to move forward and how to best preserve those 2 programs three programs if you include Medicaid expansion as its own for North Carolinians. And so just to kind of reassure at the conference that they were mentioning this past week, Dr. Singhbai, with Secretary with Department of Health and Human Services, was asked a question by one of the commissioners in attendance, Commissioner Branch from Duplin County, and he just kind of said, you know, my one question is, what can we tell our people? Is there hope? And he said, absolutely, it's not done yet. Like, we still have hope here. So hope was one of the words that was kind of brought forth from that particular session. Also, since the last meeting, July 22nd, we had the Board of Elections swearing in and oaths. County Manager Sauer and I attended the swearing in, and it, you know, just takes a few minutes, but it was always nice to see a procedure and process happen. I followed up that ceremony with a tour of the Boys and Girls Club of Edenton. I was invited there because they have some interest in a Gates County location, so there will be some more information coming forward as they look at possibly trying to put a put a footprint here in Gates County, and if not a footprint, they've mentioned that they can operate out of churches and schools and those type of things, that it doesn't have to be an actual footprint, if they can just be given hours that a facility is not being used. So that might be something that we'll have on the table fairly soon to discuss. Commissioner Roundtree, I appreciate your congratulations there on District 1 Director. I was going to mention that we do have that, and I'm really excited because it's the first time that Gates County has had the opportunity to serve as District 1 Director. They have, passed the tanks up there many times. We have Perquimans, we have Camden, but it's a first for Gates County, and it's going to provide opportunities to build relationships with our neighbors, which is going to provide opportunities to grow in many different areas. The networking and the conversations and the connections that are made when you go to these events are huge. So I'm incredibly grateful to be able to serve in this role, but also to be able to do it on behalf of Gates County and to bring things back to our county. On August 11th, we had an EMS board meeting. It was mentioned that we have a critical need for funding for ambulances. Right now we have them, but there's a 2-year turnaround for ambulances to kind of be just, I guess, completed from order. And right now we have 3 that we need to be watching carefully and considering. So we have approached all of our lovely members of the legislature, just looking for funding on how to possibly do this and prepare, because as you know, we are in a medical desert. We don't have a hospital close by. It's important that we have these ambulances staffed and that we have them reliable and on the road. August 12th, it was mentioned the Legislative Appreciation Day. Congressman Davis and Representative Ward. Senator Hannig was working in Raleigh that day, was unable to make it, but we were able to have him here tonight. And again, I'm super grateful that you were able to be here. I think sitting beside each other and breaking bread is one of the best ways to spend time together, right? So just, we had the opportunity to say thank you, recap for them how previous appropriations have and are being used, and put forth the legislative requests that we have currently, including the fluoride assistance and ambulances were reiterated. Senator Bubb was here on August 13th, met with local farmers. I will say it was an exciting birthday gift for me because that was my birthday, and the political nerd that I am was pretty excited to spend it for a portion of my time with a U.S. Senator. But I was especially impressed with his ability to listen. He came in and he asked the farmers to talk to him. He didn't come in, he didn't take the floor. He came in and he asked them for their input, and he genuinely listened. So that was neat to be a part of and to just kind of see his interest in that. Moving forward, County Manager and I met August 16th with OIC of Rocky Mount with the reentry. Mr. Greg Singleton, who's been here before with the reentry program that we were organizing here and bringing here, which is up Chowan Gates. It's Hertford Bertie, Chowan Gates. And we also had Reuben Blackwell and Cooper Blackwell from OIC Rocky Mount come, and we toured the old prison and just talked about options, opportunities moving forward. So I look forward to hearing more about that and having more conversation. August 19th through 24th, I was in Pitt County. I had the NCACC Board of Directors meeting on the 20th. That was incredible legislative updates. We had briefings on Hurricane Aaron because our North Carolina Emergency Management Director is phenomenal with providing briefings as any kind of weather event comes up. We also heard from State Auditor Dave Bullock, had a strategic planning session. It was nice to see how they operated the strategic planning session as we're moving into some strategic planning of our own. Was excited to say that I spent my first amount of time at ECU football stadium. There wasn't a game, we just had dinner there, but it was kind of neat to see the stadium and that part of the state. During the conference, we had workshops on ethics, conflicts of interest, open government workshops, strategic planning workshops, had keynote speakers with the former U.S. Surgeon General, Jerome Adams, and we had Dr. Christopher Cooper talking about the anatomy of a purple state and then how healthy opportunities create healthier communities. But the most exciting part to me was the first night celebration. The North Carolina Extension Office, 4-H, NC State, AT&T put on a program every year on the first night, and they provide food made from local sources, and they provide information. They just kind of, it's a celebration. They come in, they celebrate youth, those kind of things. Well, this year, and I've never seen it before in the few years I've gone, we had seven attendees from Gates County there working. We had Kelly Boone, BJ O'Clession, Helen Yor, Mason Lawrence, we had Austin Brown, Dylan, Lily, and we had Mr. Paul Smith there. And so it was nice to kind of be at that kind of a function and have so much representation from Gates County. I just wanted to put that out there for them. And then we closed it with the annual business session and the president's banquet with the swearing in of new officers. All kids are now back in school as of this week. Mine are having a fun time transitioning. As some of y'all know, we've homeschooled up until now for the most part, so it's been quite interesting and quite busy. But looking ahead, we are working on right now the rules of procedure, the code of ethics, personnel policy, strategic planning, communication with contacts with Congressman Davis, with Senator Hannig, with Representative Ward in regards to fluoride and funding and other things. I know it sometimes seems like we're not doing a whole lot, but we are doing work daily and we're making those conversations happen, and we're trying to build some things from the ground up because we have been behind in many areas for many years. So we're starting at the beginning and we're working with staff, department heads and such to build these policies and to put them in place so that they best affect the morale, but so that they are, they're kind of dictated by the ones that are going to be implementing them, which are the department heads. They are on the ground. They get to see these people in action. So we're bringing those people to the table and looking forward to some pretty big changes through the next few months as we start passing some of these policies. Well, that will be mine. And moving down, we will go to the county manager update.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And for the bulk of my presentation, I'm going to ask Mr. Brad Arnold to come up, but I need to highlight a couple of things for Senator Hannig. Because he and I celebrated an anniversary on Friday. It was the anniversary of the day that he called and explained to me in quite graphic and distinct terms that we are #1 in the state for groundwater fluoride elevated levels, as Commissioner Forsyth mentioned. And he has been very active and supportive. The Gates County Commissioners have significant skin in this game. During the fiscal year that just closed, the board had spent $257,000. That was for 2 of our well pumps were upgraded. We did significant well sampling for the last 12 months for the county's water supply wells. In addition, the board wanted us to look at some farm agricultural wells that serve either a poultry operation or one of these center point irrigation systems. And then I learned a new term called packer testing and rawhide for testing the performance of our wells. That exercise there was $257,000. With the budget amendment that the board has approved to move money into the new year that was left unexpended, that's another $356,000. So we will have $603,000 committed to try to advance this ball down the field, and Brad and his team are working very hard. And at this point, he's going to bring us a report of a field trip to examine one of the many potential solutions, which is a reverse osmosis treatment.
One day I took a field trip to Camden County to their reverse osmosis plant, and I got a few pictures I'd like to show y'all and kind of go through a little bit of things. You said down and forward, correct? All this is just a plaque. The engineers who designed the system, or who engineered the system, Horn RO Systems actually put the system in. They're out of Florida. I have some other slides, but I'll go ahead and give you some background information. Their plant was first built in 2001, the first train. And they had a second train added in 2011. They're currently permitted for 720,000 gallons a day. I think they said they have around 4,000 customers who they supply water to. If we go to the next picture.
What's our number?
Sir?
You said they have around 4,000. What's our number, just for comparison as we're?
They have 6,000 total population in Camden, whereas we have 11. We have a little over, around 4,500 service connections. I think they have, I'm not sure the exact number, but around 3,000 or a little more.
On this system, right, they got more than one, right? So this is, you talking about for this system or for all of their customers?
No, Camden only has one plant.
Okay.
This picture here is the pre-filters, which their public utilities or public works manager, Charles Sawyer, said that those filters there are packed with like yarn, like kind of looks like yarn. It catches the big stuff like the big coarse sand, debris from the well, that they're like any rust chunks or anything like that. It picks up all that. If you flip to the next page, this is the anti-scalant feed. Their director says that is one of the most important pieces to an RO plant. That actually what it does, it feeds, they call it anti-scalant. I don't know what the chemical name is or whatever, but it keeps the minerals from building on the membranes as the water passes through, and to allow it to be more efficient and keep it from clogging up. Next slide. These are what I call trains, or what they call trains. The water is pumped through those vessels. Each, I think they're 6-inch pipes, PVC pipes, but they're pumped through between 250 and 300 psi. It flows through and I don't know exactly how it does because it was real quick tour. I tried to take as much, but they have that pump. If you see in the middle of the picture up there is what they call like a jogger pump. It keeps the pressure at 253 psi, 300 psi as it flows through. There's a valve. He said there's a valve that creates the pressure. It's pushing 200 gallons a minute through the size of a dime. That's what creates the pressure inside of those vessels. Each train consists of 24 vessels. The train on the right, the train on the left is the original train that was put in 2001. The train on the right-hand side is the addition that was added in 2011. And I think they're going to add another additional train, I think next year or 2027. Next slide, they're the same things. It's the same trains, it's just the backside. The big pumps, the blue pump and the gray pump you see on either side of the picture, those are the high service pumps. That's what pumps the water. They're 200 horsepower pumps that pump the water at 200 gallons a minute through that little small hole. The next is the second train. It's a back shot. That's Charles Sawyer. He's the water director for Camden County, or the back of him anyway. This slide here, it's kind of hard to see. I didn't realize it was going to be that hard to see on that. But those two pumps sitting on the front side of that membrane train right there, those are the finished water pumps. They pump it to through an aerator into the ground storage tank. It's finished water, permeate is what they call it, is what they call the water. This slide here, pay no attention to the washing machine, but this is the phosphate feed, and what the phosphate does, it helps the water not to release lead and copper, old piping lines. It keeps that from, it coats the pipes to keep them from releasing lead and copper into the drinking water. He also stated that once you go RO, like older homes that have lead and copper service lines or galvanized lines, it tends to have some lead and copper issues. And this is just pictures of the electrical room, the soft starts, well, not soft starts, but VFDs and the control centers for the pumps and more or less the brains of the RO plant. Hey, it does have a point. I just found it. And again, that's another one in the electrical room. This right here is kind of another set of brains. That right there, this panel here records the pressure in each vessel. It tells you the maintained pressure, the differential pressure. Those 3 black sensors that's lined up vertically, if there's any pressure or a big drop in pressure, those sensors shut it down. It'll shut the whole train off. And those there's 36, I think it's 36 little test ports. You can actually go in and test each individual train for water quality and salinity and, things like that to make sure that your membranes are still working and they're working efficiently. And the last slide, that is the aerator. The finished water is pumped out of the water plant and it's pumped in. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a pipe that goes up to the top and the water dumps down and it drops down over little balls. He called them wiffle balls. But what it does when the water flows over top of them, it releases the hydrogen sulfide gas and it's blowed out at the top through a vent out the top. And once it goes down, it has a pump that sits. It's a little building over to the left of that, but it's actually, they have a pump in there and it's actually pumped from that into the ground storage tank. So that's just a little kind of quick overall. I mean, it's not in depth at all, but just kind of showing you a RO plant.
So in those trains, and Mr. Forsythe's more familiar with this, the RO plant we have at work, we have to do a regen cycle on the elements and stuff that's within that. Is this the same?
Yeah, those are pretty much all the same. I've seen these around the world even, and what we have where I work. And yeah, each of those has a membrane in there. Okay. And depending on, you want to try and, it's almost like a backwash of a sand filter for people that are familiar with that, like for your pool or something. There is a cycle in there that does that. But then the metering system that Brad was pointing out, Mr. Arnold was pointing out, is that, it's really kind of important that if one of the membranes starts getting clogged up, you can get a sample and know that's happening before they have a catastrophic failure when you shut down a whole train. So that's a pretty well automated system. And it's not terribly labor intensive to maintain them. The one we have that one of mine systems that I operate, it's much smaller and it literally slides in on a skid. You can have a forklift and roll it for a smaller plant. And you can actually, those trains, they now make those, that same company makes them where you could slide in an extra skid. You can start with one skid. If it's not getting you enough performance, you can add another skid of them and keep adding them until you get enough filtering capacity, because that's effectively what reverse osmosis is, a type of filtering to get the necessary limit you need.
And that horn system that built that plant there, they have a plant in Currituck. I think Currituck has 2 RO plants. Dare County has a couple, Terrell County, Hyde County, City of Jacksonville, Pasquotank County, and the City of Elizabeth City.
Edenton's building one too, aren't they?
Chowan County is looking.
Okay,
yeah, they have a pilot. They're running a pilot right now.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I'm good.
No?
Appreciate it.
Can you update the audience as far as what you're planning on doing as far as the pilot program and all that for us?
What's that now?
The pilot program that you're planning on doing, just kind of update everybody for that.
Yeah, we're going to have a horn pilot program come in. Right now, currently it's in Chowan County. I think they're having a little electrical issues or something other, so they don't have it up and running. I think it's going to run there for 6 weeks, then it's going to move to Northampton County for 6 weeks, and then it's coming to us. So November, December, somewhere in that ballpark. Once I get more information, I can update y'all and let y'all know when it's a better time frame when it's going to come.
And that's a test to see
Yes.
what it would take to take the fluoride out of us.
Yes.
The chemical addition that Mr. Arnold was pointing out, those things, our water is different. They're very different than Camden. So we might not have to add as much chemicals to get that. We may not have as much scaling issues. In fact, that's kind of what the preliminary, I sent the samples of our stuff, the results, to the guy that manufactures the equipment for Harn. They're part of a bigger corporation that finally hit me. And they said, yeah, y'all's is much cleaner than Camden. So I would be hopeful that we wouldn't require as much chemical addition and other stuff. But most water plants have chemical addition like that regardless whether it's reverse osmosis or anything else.
That'll give us it'll be the telltale what we need to do.
Yeah.
As far as building the actual plant, yeah.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Did you have anything further, County Manager?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? Did we actually vote on the meeting minutes?
I feel like we did.
I don't remember doing that because I had a correction for the meeting minutes, and I mentioned that beforehand. One of the meeting minutes, just one item on the July 16th ones. It was one line.
It was on the committee.
Did we did vote it? Get out of here,
Yes,
did I?
I think so, yes.
God, I'm a harebrained. Okay.
Okay.
Well, can I ask that I'll offer it up, and if y'all want to reconsider.
Agenda?
Yeah, the one item for the meeting minutes for July 16th. It was just one item that I felt was worded odd, that if read later would give a different opinion of what actually occurred. Can I read it to you?
Yeah.
Find it. Damn it. Here it is. Okay, this is under the July 16th meeting minutes, and it was a comment that actually I made, but the point was, it says, he pointed to the ongoing high number of leaks and noted the county had recently approved a contract to begin addressing them. We didn't actually approve a contract. What we did was we recently authorized the water department to use a contract. So we didn't actually, we didn't approve a contract. So I'm just
Okay, so
asking
you would like to ask that we
I'd like to
amend-
remove the word approved and change that to authorize the water department to use.
Okay,
Is that nuanced, just in case later
That's a
somebody
good
reads
catch.
it? Yeah.
that's fine. Okay, so you're making a motion.
I'm making a motion to correct the meeting minutes from July 16th.
I'll second that motion.
All right, any discussion? All in favor? All right, and that
Sorry, I'm a
passes.
nitwit and voted.
That's fine.
and didn't-
Okay. No, I actually, when we got there, I was thinking, I thought he said he had something here, but he didn't speak
I
up, so
missed
maybe
it.
not. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we do have the second public comment period, 3 minutes allowed. So as a reminder to the speakers, this public comment period is, again, for 3 minutes. We'll just ask if anyone has signed up. No? Okay. We'll move on. I am going to state again, the next meeting is September 17th, 2025 at 6 p.m. But we do have, and we have been doing, as I know it's been mentioned in different places, work sessions during the day prior to the meetings. We have been doing this for a while, and we will probably be doing it for the coming months, to have a full day of work sessions preceding the regular meeting. Just want to point that it's not for nefarious reasons, but many of these meetings require staff to be a part. It's not fiscally responsible or respectful of county staff to ask them to work later multiple nights per month to get these work sessions accomplished. So we are continuing with them. They are open to the public should someone want to be or be able to attend. We do record them, whether audio or video, and they will be posted. So they are not being done necessarily behind closed doors. They are as transparent as we can be with getting the work done that we have to do. Unfortunately, we can't do everything at this table on a live stream 15 nights a week when we can do it all in one day to get the right people together. And if you ever have any questions or would like to raise concerns, please feel free to reach out to us. We have contact information, email and phone numbers for all of us commissioners on the county website. Our information is also available in the office if you don't have access to internet and would like to come in and get our information. But do, again, allow us a little bit of time to respond to emails. We are county commissioners, but we do also have families and jobs that we have to fit into. So we do have an incredible community. I understand that it is frustrating when someone can't get to a meeting that they want to get to because it's during the day, but unfortunately there aren't enough hours in the evening for us to get everything done that we need to do at night. So just want to mention that we do have September 17th, and we do have meetings scheduled prior to that for work sessions during the day that will be published closer to that date. All right, and with all business on the agenda addressed, we will request a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
I'm not seconding.
That took far too long, y'all. Apparently they're not ready. All in favor? And we are adjourned. That's the one y'all usually jump at.
I swear, all I can figure is y'all were talking about something.